pets. Pour out the purina. Our next guest says feeding your pets real food could help save their lives. We've got Dr. Ernie Ward, vet and author of Chow Hounds, and chef and one of the owners of Fresh Fetch, Chef Michael Smith. Great to have you guys here, really giving the message that pets can eat real people food, something that I have been told literally my whole life not to do.
Absolutely, Renee. I mean, an entire generation of pet owners have been brainwashed into thinking somehow that people foods are bad for pets. And, you know, I always wonder, what do they think's in the bag or the can anyway? It's not like pixie dust or something. So the reality is we're trying to get a message back. Let's get back to the basics. Real, whole, fresh foods. That's what pets need. And what I've done, you know, in my book and certainly in my practice over the past 20 years is I've come up with what I call the hybrid menu. And so what I believe people should do is feed the commercial foods out of the bag or the can, but supplement it with real fresh foods. And that way you get the best of both worlds.
You were saying in some of the foods there's a lot of processed junk, and we wouldn't want to put it in our body, so why feed it to our best friend?
Yeah, some of these pet foods and treats are so bad, I call them kibble crack, right?
Oh.
I mean, they're addictive, they're loaded with sugar and fat and salt and all those things that may taste good, but they're really bad for our health. And so we've really exported our human health problems to our pet loved ones. And one of the things that's exciting to me is you're starting to see now in the pet food industry the realization that maybe we should do things differently. And you're seeing foods come out that are reduced in the amounts of wheat and corn, for example. You're seeing foods using more real ingredients. And a company like Fresh Fetch, what they're doing is actually making human food for dogs, which is exciting.
And that's so exciting because you guys have partnered up, because you have developed a company, you and a couple of your business partners, that said, you know, hey, if pets are healthier eating this stuff, let's make it easy for people to give it to them.
You know, what we really did is we went back to how pets ate before there was, you know, commercial dog foods, and how they just ate natural foods, probably were table scraps or things that people didn't eat themselves, they gave to their pets. So it's really not what we did to the food, it's what we didn't do to the food.
You are from Palm Springs,
yes,
and you service all of Southern California. You also can ship all over the world. And we're going to make a recipe here coming up in a second.
Yes.
Dr. Ward, I've got to ask you, when you're putting these ingredients together and when you're focusing on the wholeness and the nutritious aspect of the food, you obviously have to make it delicious so the pets want to eat it.
You do, but I will tell you this. I have yet to see a dog refuse fresh foods, fruits and vegetables and meats, as opposed to kibble. Because when you think about it as a vet, oftentimes I'll prescribe a therapeutic diet. Your dog has kidney disease or liver or whatever. And people say, he won't eat it. He won't eat it. And so we found that by, again, supplementing, adding in these real healthy, fresh foods, they gobble it down.
And before we get to making the delicious salmon treat, which actually this human right here would eat, you were saying that literally making a very powerful claim that eating the fresh food can save your pet's life.
Oh, absolutely. And the thrust of my book, Chow Hounds, was that to fight pet obesity. Because right now, 45% of the dogs in this country are overweight or obese, and 58% of the cats. This is just wrecking lives, costing owners tens of millions of dollars and unnecessary medical bills. And so, you know, I'm trying to do anything I can. And when I find people like this that are making high-quality, low-cal, you know, foods, I'm like, hey, wow, let's support it.
Yeah, let's work together.
You bet.
All right, so Michael, you've got some delicious, tasty treats there. What are you going to whip up together for us?
What we have today here is just a salmon meal, and I have some fresh salmon here that I bought at the store, and I'll go ahead and start that up.
And this is a recipe from this book, you know, I wrote, Chow Hounds. And it's interesting because, you know, if you look at the ingredients, what I've done is just sort of assembled some of the healthiest foods that you can find on the planet. I mean, here is a salmon, which is rich in those healthy fish oils, omega-3s, also rich in B vitamins, so it really doesn't get any better than this. In fact, when I'm looking at my patients, I'm looking for fish protein sources first and foremost. Next, I think we've got some quinoa here. And while many Americans aren't familiar with quinoa, it's been around for over 5,000 years. But when the Spanish moved into South America, they didn't like it because the Chilean and Bolivian and Peruvian warriors ate this, and it gave them stamina and energy. So they burned the fields, and that's why Americans are just now discovering this amazing protein source. So quinoa is a fantastic ingredient.
This is about 5 ounces of quinoa, and we have here like a flaxseed oil. And we're just going to go ahead and drizzle that on top of the quinoa.
And again, more omega-3s, so this is a wonderful way, and dogs love the taste of it.
About 2 ounces of carrots.
And of course, dogs love crunchy vegetables, so I like to add carrots to as many recipes as possible.
And I think the color makes it stand out too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really beautiful color.
And just some fresh green beans, and these are all things that you could just find at your local store. And we have some fresh salmon here that we've already cooked.
And if you're a dog, I mean, this is much more appealing than some dry kibble. I mean, that looks delicious.
It really does. All right, so Michael, we're going to have you finish doing this recipe here, but let's put that on the floor because we have got a taste test like no other taste test that we've had here on San Diego Living before. We've got Marty, who is up for adoption from one of our El Cajon animal shelters. Marty, come on down, my friend.
Come on, Marty.
He is going to taste this delicious treat, and
There we go.
you're going to take it from the dog's mouth, if in fact this is good.
So what I think this is demonstrating is that dogs know good food. I mean, you can see Marty is absolutely gulping it down. You know, this is the good stuff, Marty, and you're really lucky today to be able to experience something like this. And while I'm not saying that pet owners have to feed this way every day, what I'm saying is if you can do this every once in a while, everybody wins.
Wonderful. We're so glad you guys could come. Marty, it's a double thumbs up, double paws up, rather. And just a shout out, Marty is available at the El Cajon Animal Shelter, 2 years old, a mixed breed. He'd love to find a forever home. And we also are going to give you a couple copies of Chow Hounds. Our book is available on our website at sandiego6.com, as well as some fresh fetch meals. So just like Chef Michael did, you can serve your animals some healthier food tonight. And I do need to mention that your food is already in a couple San Diego stores, Dexter's Deli and Howlistic. I love it. Dr. Ernie Ward, thank you so much for coming on today. Grab a couple copies of his book on our website.
Thank you.
Chef Michael, wonderful to have you on. If he doesn't finish that, can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
It looks amazing. I don't have any shame. I'll eat after a dog. Hey, coming up next, Free Music Friday, one day early. Don't miss a live performance from The Riders when SDL comes right back. You know you want to take home Marty.